everyone, my name is Rhiannon from Blue Dog Board Games, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I've been asked a couple of times whether I was going to do a playthrough of this one. This is a brand new game to me, and I said probably not because it's too big. My setup's not really able to cope with this vast amount of game. But I have a spontaneous day off today, so I thought let's give it a go, see what we can do. This game is Zoo Tycoon. We're going to be doing a solo playthrough of this game today. Now, I will be honest and say that this is still a very new game to me, so I'm probably not going to be that good at it. I actually had quite a successful playthrough of it last night, however. I got like 24 points or something like that, which isn't amazing, but it was certainly better than I have been doing so far. So I'm not going to be claiming this is in any which way a strategic guide, but hopefully it'll be helpful for you to sort of see how the solo mode works. Fortunately, as this game is so big, I have had to cut one of the boards off the screenshot that you'll see. It's not really that detrimental, it's just some of the tracks that we're climbing up in this game, so you won't be able to actually see the most important track, which is the popularity and the buzz, but I will just be explaining to you what goes on in there anyway, and at the end of final scoring I may pan the camera across so you can see how we take that into account at the final scoring stage. Also, last thing to say is I won't be finishing this video with my final thoughts. This is going to take a good number of hours to film anyway, so I haven't quite decided yet whether I'm going to do a separate video of a review of this game, and maybe because I think I'll have quite a lot to say about it, and I have been producing quite a lot of content on it just because this has been quite a big game for me. I've been quite excited about this one. Or whether I'm just going to talk about it in more depth in one of my vlog videos, haven't decided, but this is just solely a playthrough today. So without further faffing around, we're going to get straight into the game. I'm not going to be going into too much detail about exactly how to play it because that's just going to take too long. So hopefully I'll give you a bit of an idea as I explain what I'm doing as we go through. So the first round of the game is actually a little bit different to the standard rounds. The rounds are played in spring, summer, autumn, winter, but in the first round of the game we're actually starting in summer. So we are actually going to be skipping all the way through the phase to the arrival phase, so we're going to be welcoming some animals into our zoo. This is just because we don't have anything in our zoo as of yet. This is our zoo board over here, and so we need to start getting some animals in before we do anything else. Now in this phase, what we do to sort of make this a little bit more competitive, we have a couple of other player decks. So I'm yellow, so these are all of my animal cards that I can bring into my zoo. That's everything on this board. And we have a deck here, which is going to be our primary deck that we're sort of going up against. It's not like a bot or anything, but they're going to be sort of competing with us for these conservation projects, which score us points at the end of the game. So what we do here is we draw two cards, and these are the animals that they have welcomed into their zoo in this round. So I'm just going to keep them here. I'm going to put my animals all the way up here. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see them completely easily. You don't actually need to see them in any detail. I will be keeping track of whether or not they have achieved any of these. Basically, you need a set number of animals in order to achieve them, and as soon as they have drawn those cards, for those particular animal types, they're just going to be taking that conservation spot over here, and then I will be able to score a certain number of points rather than the big points. So in the arrival phase for my particular turn, I can choose any animal on the board, with the exception that I cannot take the giant panda. The giant panda is a special case, and the Asian elephant as well is locked for this particular phase. So ignoring them two, I can welcome any animal at all, as long as they are available. Once again, I won't go too much into it, but there's green spots that are in these little windows which say that they're available to be taken, they're for trade, and there's red spots, which means there's none around for trade at the moment, but if we have some that are in our zoo, we can give them up to trade them to another zoo. The only other thing to say is that usually level 2 animals, which are these, and level 3 animals, which are these, are locked behind your animal's happiness. So you would need to have happy animals in order to welcome anything from these sections into your zoo. the exception is round 1. So I'm actually going to look for, I think I'm going to actually try and go down a similar route to what I did yesterday, just because I think that might be quite beneficial for me, and at least it might give us a reasonable chance at a fairly average score. I don't want this to be an awful score. So I'm wondering if I should actually go for these orangutans. Perhaps. Yeah. I'm just considering, because they've got a group size that we can get of 4, 1 male, which would be great, because we have to think about males and females as well. So if I could get 1 male and 3 females, that would make them very happy, because they don't want lots of males. And that'd be a group size of 4. But then I would need at least 4 tiles and then 6 tiles. I'm going to go for the orangutan. So let's grab that card. So he's ready to come into our zoo. And what happens is I grab 1 male and 3 females. You don't have to take them all if you don't want to. You can take any number of that particular, so I could take 2 females and 1 male, or no males and 3 females. And all of my animals over here, because they're off the camera, because I can't fit them everywhere. So I get 3 females. The animal meeples in this game are just out of this world. They're just fabulous. And so these guys all go in our quarantine section, just because we haven't built them anywhere yet. Now this is an exception to the usual rules as well. As we have taken a level 3 species, we are locked from taking anything else. Usually you're able to take up to 2 trades as standard on your turn, but because I've taken level 3, I only get 1. And I also get the opportunity to get a free conservation centre, which I have to place in the next round of the game. Lots of little nitpicky rules. So that is our summer phase. So we're going to go straight to autumn. Now again, because this is the first round, we skip basically all of autumn. We ignore what we would usually do and go straight to the building phase, just because we don't have anything else to interact with right now. And I'm going to grab a die, because normally you actually start the game with 6 enclosure tiles. I don't like to grab all the tiles, because they are double-sided and they have different enclosure types on each side. So instead of going back and forth, they're interchangeable at any time in the game, as long as you've not placed them on your board. So instead of faffing around with what types I want, I keep track of how many tiles I've got available by a die. I've got 6 at the beginning of the game, and I'm going to build my enclosure for my orangutans. So I ideally want to fit all of my orangutans in as soon as I can. So I need to think about, I've got 6 tiles. They like to go in the tropical enclosure. So let me get 6 tropical tiles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can get rid of my die. I'm going to use all 6 because they have a maximum of 1 orangutan per tile, and they also need a minimum of 2 free space. So free space is something that doesn't have an animal on. You can have a structure on it, so you can have like a safe enclosure, a shelter on them, but you cannot have an animal, so they need at least 2 free space. So if I pop it, should I start doing it like this? Start coming along the top? Yeah, and then I can integrate them into my zoo. 1 per tile, there we go. Okay, so now we need to have a look at various aspects. I like to work through it top to bottom. So I get 3 popularity, and we'll do the buzz in a minute. So I increase my popularity by 3. 1, 2, 3, you won't be able to see that. And then you don't score the education, you don't score the conservation, and we ignore any of the criteria. This means 1 orangutan per tile, that's satisfied. $2 means I have to pay $2 per tile that's keeping an an orangutan. So I've got 4, so that's 8. So that's quite a lot actually. They need to be generating some good popularity for me. This is to do with how compliant they are with like males and females in the enclosure. So this is, you can only have one male in the entire enclosure. He's like a dominant male. This is co-species. They don't like co-species in their enclosure. And now we pop this on the very bottom because we don't have another ape. If we have another ape, we can go to the highlighted space here. This is like our experience dealing with the animal. They've got 2 or more free spaces. I need to now spend money on shelters. So they need a minimum of 2 shelters. Each shelter costs 2 coins. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and grab 2 shelters for them. There's some like minimum requirements. So if I wasn't able to give them 2 free space, for example, I wouldn't be able to build them. I would be able to build the enclosure, but I wouldn't be able to integrate my animals in there. Same as if I wasn't able to afford these 2 shelters, I wouldn't be able to bring them into my zoo. And this last one here is the group size. So I have to have a minimum of 3 orangutans before I can even get them into my zoo, because otherwise they'll be unhappy. So I've got 4, so that's there. And that's everything for that particular bit there. I need to place my conservation centre. So conservation centres will grant you a conservation point per adjacent enclosure that has a conservation value. So my orangutans do have a conservation value. So I think I could expand that out this way and this way. Shall I pop that there? And start building it around this way. Maybe I'll pop it there. So that grants me 1 conservation point. So I've still got money. What do I want to do with my money? I think on the off, I'm just looking at these tracks. On certain points in this game, you're going to be looking at whether you've passed certain points. You'll see that I've stuck like counters in at certain areas. So if I've got bits on the board. If I pass this particular bit here or this particular bit here by a certain time in a round, I'm going to be able to get a bonus. So I'm quite conscious of being able to do that. I think let's try and push up. So I'm going to spend 2 coins to grab, shall I grab an education? Yeah, I'm going to grab an education booth. You can have a maximum of 1, focal points per tile. So I've got a shelter here, I've got now an education booth in here, and I've got 3 spare tiles. Even though I have an orangutan's on them, I can still put focal points on them. So that's scored me the education value of the enclosure, which is 3. That's the only time that you can score the education. You don't automatically get it. And you can only put 1 education booth in an enclosure, so I can't score that again now. I think now I'm going to spend another 2 to grab a conservation booth. Conservation booths are tied to this value here, so this is 4. He's got a conservation value of 4, which means I can build up to 4 conservation booths in his enclosure. That gives me 1 conservation point. So at this point, I'm wondering if I should spend the rest of my money. At the end of, we're going to be going to winter in a minute, and we do a normal winter phase in round 1. And as part of winter, every player loses all of their money apart from $3 or 3 million or whatever it stands for. I'm on 2 at the moment, and I wonder if I should spend the remaining. Don't know. My running cost at the moment is 8. I will be, I ideally want to get the bonus. You get a bonus if you pass a certain point. And I do want to be passing that point. The thing is, what am I going to be getting? I'm going to be getting 3 buzz. 1, 2, 3. So I won't even be able to push that up. You know what? What I'm going to do then is, you may be able to see as well, have a look at some of the pictures of the cards. the orangutans have, or some animals have, little yellow buildings on the side of this track. I'm able to build one yellow building because this is tied to the green section. So I'm going to spend 2 to build a yellow building, which is, it's like a popularity central. It's like a bit of, I don't know, call it like an information board or something like that, which enhances the popularity of that particular species. So that gives me 1 popularity. I'm going to finish building there. When you are finished sort of building, you have a look at the most popular animal that you've integrated into your zoo. So I've only integrated 1, so that's 3. He's got 3 popularity, and you score that in buzz. Now your buzz is always tied to your popularity. So at any point it never drops below your popularity counter. It always starts at where your popularity is. So I'm just going to start where my popularity is, and that's currently on 4, and increase that by 3. So I've got 7 buzz, but only 4 popularity. I'm now going to think about using my workers. I've got 3 workers that I can use. The first one is free, and if I use the other 2, that's going to cost me $3 in running costs for the round. And I'm going to use this action down here. These are tied by season, and I'm in autumn. I'm going to go to the bottom, which means I can increase my education value by 2, which surpasses me on the first little segment. Then I think that's it for autumn. So we're going to go straight to winter. This is our first winter phase, which is a normal phase. They have an animal keeping phase. So this is like a bot animal keeping phase. We roll a die, and there's 2 tracks that they're sort of moving up. We ignore this one for now, that's spring breeding. This is their animal keeping track down here. They've rolled a 2. On a 1, they actually decrease along this track. At a 2 to 5, they increase by 1, and a 6, they increase it by 2. So he's rolled a 2, so we're just going to tick up the track by 1. I increase the animal keeping of all of my species, so we get more experience. Education scoring. So education scoring, we are looking at this track. If we have superseded any of the counters, like the bottommost counter for that round, I've just pushed this one off. We get to score 1 extra conservation, which is what I've been planning for, because then that pushes me up to 3 conservation and chucks this one off. I've superseded the least amount of conservation, which is going to be important in a minute. You will see. Taxes. This is where we have a look. We have to pay taxes. Any value over 3 that we are holding, we have to get rid of. It's all of our tax, and I've got no money, so I'm not taxed. Revenue. This is where we have a look at, there is a counter at the side of our popularity track, which is to do with like admission costs, and the more popular and more buzz your zoo has, the more admission you're able to charge. And then in the sailor mode, there's like a counter that goes up in segments, so it's like split into segments. And at the moment it's at 15. If we are within that segment, our buzz, we get to score an additional $4. So we always score the admission cost that's like straight across from our column. So at the moment, $15 is my standard admission. But because I have managed to get my counter into the same space as that second like counter at the side that's tracking how far we like push up, I'm able to get that extra 4. It's basically like the highest buzz player in a multiplayer game gets that extra as well. It's just to sort of simulate that a little bit. So I've got 19 income, which is fabulous. And I have to minus that from my running costs. So my running costs at the moment is 8. I think. Yes. So my running costs is 8. So I get 11. And I can track that at the top here. I wonder if I should have done something else. It's too late now. I can't backtrack that much. We'll just see how it goes. I was just thinking maybe I should have increased my animal keeping. Because if I could have increased my animal keeping, potentially my orangutans could have been breeding. Do you think, can I backtrack? Nothing's actually changed. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cheat. right? So I'm going to pretend we're still in autumn for a second. I'm going to use my second worker, which increases my running costs by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that would have pushed my animal keeping up to the green section. The breeding of the animals is tied to their happiness. And so if they were still in the yellow segment here, they wouldn't be breeding. But in this spring, because I've pushed up a little bit more, we're going to be rolling die to see whether they are going to breed. And so that's what I wanted to do. So instead of having 11, I've actually spent an extra $3 there. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Shh, nobody knows. And then finally we reset our buzz. So take buzz off and we reset our workers. So he comes back. So I minus my running costs by 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. And we start a new year. And this is where it starts back at spring, and we are now playing the game as the rest of the game will play. There's no other changes. We're just going through the round order, and unfortunately the round order is all the way at the other side of the table, so you can't see it. But let's get into round 2. So spring, usually this is where you switch starting player, but we are always a starting player. And event card. Oh, so we have event cards over at the opposite side of the board. So we have motivated employees. Every zoo receives 1 additional free staff action for this year. Fabulous. So I'm going to stick my second guy onto the free space so I remember that. This is where we now go to offspring. So the AI roll a die to see whether they are breeding. Oh no, they're breeding twice. They rolled a 6. So that means their track ticks up by 2. So that's really rubbish for us. And now we can see if we are breeding our animals as well. So there's a couple of things you just need to be aware of. Obviously you need at least 1 male and 1 female in an enclosure. And again, you need to just look at the happiness. So these guys are potentially breeding because they're all out of the yellow segment. And so it shows you what die you're rolling at the side. And down here as well, it shows you a certain symbol according to the behavior of that animal. So here we are rolling 1 die per female in the enclosure. So I've got 3. So we need to roll a 5 or more to breed our orangutans. And we get 1 orangutan, which is fabulous. That's fantastic. So there's even more to think about here. So we would draw 1 offspring from the bag. So we've got babies in here. I'm not going to, and I'll explain why in a second. And down here as well, you also need to be aware of the nurturing components of an animal. So any females that have bred, because they've got this symbol here, means that they are taking care of that animal for at least 1 year. And so we are going to lay one of these females down to represent saying she cannot breed next year. She's still looking after her baby, or she's not ready to breed again. So that's fabulous. We have 1 baby. Instead of putting the baby in the enclosure, what I'm going to do is put it to the conservation. These level 3 animals have reintroduction spaces. You'll see like little symbols at the bottom here. And I'm going to put 1 straight to be reintroduced into the wild. Once we have 2 orangutans ready to be reintroduced to the wild, we can release them and we score conservation points. So that's really great. Really happy with that. And that is our breeding done for the round. So now we go down to summer. And this is where we renew the animal exchange. So we've got a sheet underneath this big board here. And this is like where all the little cutouts are seen. So we're just going to shift this down. I'm going to move these animals out of the way. To reveal what the availability of each species is. I haven't ticked up my breeding track because I bred my orangutans. This is only for level 1 and level 2 species. I think that's to just balance it out a bit better because we can't be scoring on that as well as potentially doing reintroductions with our level 3 species. Okay, we now do a leaving phase. So this is where we can get rid of any animals that are stuck in our quarantine. If they're in the way, we can potentially trade them to other zoos. Only if they're in demand, if they've got red symbols in here. I'm not going to be trading anything because I've got, you can also trade offspring, so I could have kept that one in my enclosure instead of reintroducing it and then traded it at this particular point if this symbol was red. But instead I'm going to just skip ahead straight to the arrival phase. Now let's draw from here to see what the opponent is grabbing. They are grabbing the level 3, which means they are blocking some of the spaces. If they draw a level 3, they block half of the reintroduction spaces, which means if I now get that animal as well and start reintroducing, we're going to be sharing the conservation points. And they're also going to grab this red panda. All right, what do I want to do? My orangutans are quite happy, so I could grab a level 2 or a level 3 species. I'm going to be locked out of all level 3 species because they do have additional requirements. So let's have a look. I'm still not very familiar with a lot of these, so I'm assuming that this guy is not associated with any conservation project, and that's right, they're not. I think, therefore, I may have a look at... What about these tigers? I'm just thinking the tigers look good because they've got conservation, and I could stick that next to this conservation point here. The red ruffed lemurs have quite a lot of conservation as well. And they've got more education. The red ruffed lemurs, though, aren't associated with any conservation project. They're a bit tricky. What about the rhino? Rhino could be good. Oh, they're in demand though. I can't get them. Snow leopard. I could get 2 females. Alright, I reckon I'm going to either go for the lemurs or the tigers. I want conservation. Lemurs or tigers, lemurs or tigers. Let's have a look at their cards to see how big of enclosures they need. So the tigers are part of this conservation project, but then I'd need to get elephant, and the elephant needs a minimum of 3 hooved species. And that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. All right, where are we? Where are we? Red ruffed lemurs or the tigers? So lemurs would be unhappy. Wow, tigers need a lot of space. Tigers need a lot of space. They need 4 or more free space to be happy. Like really happy. So that means they're going to need 6. We're going to go for the tigers, I think, though. Oh, they're very expensive. Fussy things, they are. Oh, but it would be marvellous to have lions, tigers in the zoo, wouldn't it? Should we try and go for the tigers? But then the lemurs are co-species. You won't be able to see it because I've probably cut it off, but some animals allow co-species to exist in their enclosures, and lemurs do, and they are tropical species, so I could grab any one of these. I could potentially grab a deer to try and... How many spaces would they need then? They'd need... How many lemurs am I getting? 4 lemurs. So that would be... I'd need 2 spaces. To make them happy, I'd need an extra 2. Then to make them be able to get the deer in at the same time. Ooh, wow. Sorry, I'm doing lots of things in my head at the same time. I'm also calculating how many shelters they are going to need at the minimum. How many tiles, enclosure tiles I'm going to get next round. I'm going to get 1 from donors, I think, because what am I on? I'm on 0. They're also on 0, so we would get that. So yes, I would get 5 enclosure tiles, but I won't be able to... So that would be, hang on. So that would be, I'd need 2. I could put you down there, so 3, 4, 5. Let's get the lemurs. let's get the lemurs. I've probably calculated this wrong. So I'm going to grab the lemurs. So I can choose what I want. I'm going to go for the full amount, 2 males, 2 females. Bear with me while I try and find them. I think these are, nope, they're the capuchins. Lemurs. The capuchins and the lemurs look really similar. No, that's a male. The males and females are slightly different colour. So they are going to go straight into my quarantine. And do I want to trade anything else? I'm going to consider it. When you are considering a second trade, remember you have up to 2 trades. You have a second deck of cards. That's like your second opponent's cards. You draw 4 of these, and this is just, you cannot trade these particular animals. It's just trying to like block off so you don't have so much choice about what you trade. I am just trying to think, do I want to start building up towards something? Because it would be quite good to try and get the Asian elephant. I've never got the Asian elephant before. It'd be fabulous to try and do that. So what would I need? I would need some more like hooved species. So maybe I could trade like the elk. And I won't be able to build them anything this round, but I could just introduce them to my zoo later. This is probably going to go really badly. Did the elk, the elk are blocked. I cannot trade the elk. What about giraffe? Should I get giraffe? Giraffe could be cool. Yeah, let's go for a giraffe. This is where it all tumbles down for me, because I just think, oh, look at the lovely little giraffes. They like get the little meeples out, and yeah, they're then stuck in quarantine forever because they need a lot of space, I believe. But let's just go with it. As I said, don't rely on this for strategy. Oh, look at these meeples. Like, these are just out of this world amazing. Okay, that's my 2 trades. You can use like counters to like block off so you know where you are in your trades, but because I'm on my own, I don't really need to, don't feel like I need to. And then clear the animal exchange. That's what it means. Clear everything off that you've marked. So we're in autumn. We're gonna get our die. I'll get one of these. So every autumn you get automatically 3 enclosure tiles. We then have a look to see whether we are going to, we've got donors over here that we draw each round. So we've got an animal welfare donor at the moment. So we're going to be comparing our animal welfare score to theirs. So they're on 0 right now. And we are also on 0 because this is looking at where we are. If you're looking at the lowest counter on your space. So if I was like down here, I'd be in the yellow section, even though this guy's already in the dark green and very happy about his free space that he's got. But I'm in the light yellow section, which gives me a score of 0. So we've both got 0, which I believe means we both tie for first place, which means I'm going to draw another one. You actually draw another one at the end of every autumn. So I'm going to get myself an extra enclosure tile. We then have a look at our conservation. If we have passed the bottom section of our conservation, I have pushed one of these counters off, I get an extra one. So we're on 5 tiles, which is fabulous. Replace our donor, we've just done loans. So we can take a loan out if we want to at any point, up to the value of 10. So if you've got less than 10 money, you can take a loan. Every loan gives you $4 or 4 million, whatever. And if you do take a loan, you have to put an extra like blocking tile on your board somewhere. So we start with all of these along the top. We'd have to take another one and put it anywhere on our board. Do I want to do that? Probably. I'm going to waste it. You can never push above 10. So I'm only going to get $2 from that. But I think it will just give me that flexibility to buy more for my lemurs. And it was only yesterday that I found myself that I've actually filled my board. That was the first game, so we'll see. I've taken a loan out. Building phase. So we're going to try and grab our lemurs in as soon as possible. So let's grab, what are they? They're tropical as well. So I'm going to grab 5 tropical tiles. 1, 2. There we go. So I've got all 5. I am going to wrap it round here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The boards are a bit funny, like you're supposed to try and like keep the enclosures tiles all close together, but that just means that sometimes things aren't quite clear where they are. But we're just going to do it like that. There we go. So let's introduce our lemurs. So let's grab some counters. So 3 lemurs can live on 1 space. So let's pop you here. Before I forget, I'm going to score my conservation point because I've got a conservation centre here. And remember, if you put an adjacent enclosure with a conservation animal on it, you score an extra point. Oh no. Oh. So I'm at 4. So I have done that bit. Let's score 2 popularity. And then $2 per tile that encloses a animal, at least one. So that's going to be $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then co-species. So let me just do this part here. Because we've already got a primate. Oh, I didn't think about that. That means I could potentially get the golden lion tamarin. Oh no, I'm diverging from my plan. Okay, let's go there. We need at least one shelter. Oh, we need at least 2 shelters. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing now. Right, that's 1, 2. They've got 2 shelters. And we've got 4 of them in the enclosure. They do like co-species, so I was going to go for the deer. Shall I go for the deer? I'm going to go for the deer. So what happens is you find the tile. Shall I go for the anteater? No, we were looking at the Asian elephant. I don't know why, because we haven't got the tiger. Oh, I get so distracted. Which one has more education? The anteater and the deer. Let's go for the deer. I've never got the deer before. They're cute. If I can find the deer, where's the deer? So these can just be integrated at any sort of point when you build an enclosure. They take up 2 or 1, according to the size of the tile. They always give you a standard 2 running cost. He is going to give me 1 extra popularity, but I'm going to score an extra popularity because I built it at the same time as this enclosure. Complicated. The lemurs therefore have 1 spare space. And I think that they are therefore happy. They're not actually very happy, but they'll have to stay like that for now. Right, what else can we buy for them? We've only got 6 money, so I'm going to let's grab an education booth. So 2, we're going to score the education of these guys. Oh, yeah, I think we're going to, oh, are we? Are we? Oh dear, I'm just thinking, because if I do the education now, I get lots of education, which is great, but then I won't be scoring the bonus conservation next round. What I'm going to do then I'm not going to buy the education booth. I'm going to buy a conservation booth instead. So that just gives me 1 conservation. Am I able to get any more than that? Otherwise that's a waste, isn't it? How can I get more? How can I get more? I don't think I can. Well, what a shame. Tell you what then, I'm going to spend 2 to build another conservation on this guy. I've got 1 spare space, got 1 enclosure tile with the orangutans that don't have a focal point on, so that's going to score me 1 extra conservation point, which allows me to meet that criteria, pushes off another counter. Yeah, happy with that, I think. And then I'm going to use my meeples. I'm going to go to the bottom thing here to get 2 education, which then pushes off this counter. And some of these have thresholds, so I have now gained an extra popularity here. And I have 1 extra free meeple that I can use. You can use it for animal keeping or maintenance. I don't want to do any maintenance. Let's just do animal keeping then, I think. It's a bit of a, I don't need to, but we may as well. Let's get them out of the yellow. Okay, so that's us done for autumn. Animal keeping for them. Sorry, I didn't score my buzz. So the most popular animal that was introduced into that zoo was the lemur. So I get 2 buzz from this, which means I am not quite in the special segment. Ah, what a shame. There's not a lot I can do about that, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Alright, so animal keeping. So they are going up by 1. I am increasing them by 1 as well. Education scoring, I do get that because I have superseded the lowest one, which means I get an extra conservation point. Fabulous. Taxes, I've got 2. Remember the threshold is 3, so that's fine. Revenue, unfortunately I have not managed to push up into the next segment, so my revenue is only 15. Oh no, this is where it's going to go downhill. Oh dear. Oh dear. Alright, that's what we're going to have to deal with. So my revenue is only 15 and my running costs are 14, so I gain a grand total of $1. And the threshold at which to get that bonus is increasing the whole time. Now we reset our buzz and our meeples and New Year. I really hope I did score that correctly. I had... Oh, it doesn't matter now, does it? I wonder if I was better off, instead of doing the conservation. You know, I'm going to cheat again. I'm going to cheat. Because I've just noticed, my brain can't like picture how the whole year is going to plan out. And if I sat down and had a pen and paper and did it properly, I'd be able to see it. But I could have got that bonus by building. Oh no, I couldn't have done that. I was just thinking I could have built another yellow building instead of this conservation centre, but I can't because these are locked behind the super happiness of the orangutan. So I'm not cheating, it's okay. It's okay. So we're on year 3. So year 3, let's go for an event card. Right, custom seizures. In this arrival phase, every zoo can increase the supply of 1 species by up to 1 male and 1 female. Alright, that's good. Offspring phase. So they're increasing by 1. Oh, they're climbing this fast. And let's see what's breeding in ours. So our lemurs are not happy enough to breed right now. Maybe they were a mistake to get. Or I don't know. We'll have to see. So our lemurs aren't too happy, but our orangutans may. Remember, one of ours bred last round. Ooh, got some hair. So we've only got 2 breeding females. So we roll a die for each female, and they need a 5 or more to breed. Excellent. So we get another one. That's really great. So instead of actually putting that in my zoo, what I'm going to do is introduce it to the wild. So I'm going to pop it on here, and I get to score 4 immediate conservation points, which is fabulous. 1, 2, 3, 4. Amazing. Okay. And then usually the one that you've led down last turn would stand up, and then your new one that bred would lie down, but just keep it as 1. That's fine. I'm assuming we don't get the buzz for that because we didn't introduce them into our zoo. Let me check the roll. It doesn't really say, so I'm just reading in the offspring section. It does say, after rolling the die for all species, each of you now moves up your cylinder up the popularity track by the base value of the most popular species that had offspring. It doesn't say that they still need to be in your zoo. So that's another question I'm going to ask. But from that interpretation, I guess I do receive that buzz. So I'm going to increase it by 3. Every little helps in this game. This game is hard, so I'm going to do it. Okay, so that is all of our offspring. Our lemurs didn't have any babies, so we're in summer. So let's renew our animal exchange. What we got? Have we got any more lemurs? Yeah, we do have some more lemurs, but we won't be... I say you're not usually able to take the level 2 and level 3 species unless everyone is already very happy, and that is true, but the exception is when you've already got that species in your zoo. So at the moment my lemurs are a bit unhappy because they haven't got enough free space and enough group size, but because I've already got them, I could still go for them. So we're in the leaving phase. I'm not going to send anyone home. We're going to keep our giraffes. So we're going to go to the arrival phase. Alright, so they have got the ostrich and giraffe. I'm going to run out of room. I like to try and keep these in piles so I know where these all are. I'm going to have to just put the on top of the other. That's fine. So what do we want? I don't quite know. It would be really good to get another species with the hooves going. So I could I've got the giraffe, or I could introduce the giraffe soon. So what about the zebra? I don't want 3 male zebra though. The lions, I could get 3 female lions. These animals that I know from playing need a lot of space. I also want to try and get more conservation by building around here though. This is tricky. This game is very tricky. What about rhinos? Yeah, let's go. Oh, but then it's giraffe or rhino that's going to count to this. Oh, I don't know. This is where my brain just doesn't know what to do. So I could get macaws. I know that macaws are reasonably easy to breed and take care of. What about the ostriches? No, you know what? We're going to go for the lions. Because if we can make the lions work, that would be really beneficial. I think... Oh... No, that's just a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea. We're better off going for the ostriches, because that's going to count to this. Why were we better off going for the ostriches? I've forgotten. Do the ostriches like co-species? They do like co-species. which means I could grab the wildebeest or the meerkats. I don't even know what I'm trying to achieve. Wowee, my poor head. Okay, so the giraffes, which I'll be hopefully getting in a minute, do like co-species. So we're going to go for the ostriches. Let's trade for some ostriches. Where are they? Let's get, we've got a male and a female. Male and a female ostrich. Oh, excuse me. Okay, and then I want to try and do a second trade. So you're coming out soon, hopefully. When they're in the quarantine, they're not actually counted as being in your zoo, but I like to get the cards out so I can sort of see what's going to happen and what the restrictions are. That's really good. So I was a bit worried that they were going to block my lemurs. Am I even able to introduce any lemurs? I am. I just thought as well, I could have got more ostriches. It says in the arrival phase, every zoo can increase the supply of one species by up to one male and one female. Do I want to do that? I think so. I'm going to grab another male and female ostrich because they don't mind having loads of males and females. And I am not restricted by my lemurs. I can grab my lemurs. I think let's grab a maximum of 2. So let's go for female lemurs. And then I can give them contraception if they get out of control. So I'm going to just go for 2 female lemurs. And they're going to go straight into the enclosure, which doesn't increase running costs. And instead, we've got 6 of them now. So their happiness for that goes up, which is great. All right, I think that went pretty well. Let's get rid of them. I don't know. We're going to be really running out of tiles in a minute. We don't have a lot of money, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so we have 3 tiles by standard, plus 1 from donors. I won't be able to get this one. So they're on we've got an animal welfare donor. So their animal welfare score is 2. Looking at mine, I've got these 2 don't count because they're not in my zoo yet. I score -1 for my lemurs because they don't have enough space yet. And then I score 0 for my orangutans. So I'm on -1. Unfortunately, they win for that one. So that's a shame. But I do get 1 from the conservation track. So I can get rid of that one now. So I do have 4 that I can play with. We need to get a new species into the zoo this round. Replace the donor card. Let's hope it's not animal welfare again. It's not. It's savanna species. Ooh. If I could get both of them out, I could score that one next time, but I won't be able to get them all out. Oh well. Loans. I'm absolutely going to take some loans. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to run out of space. I can see it now. I can see it now. Do I want another one? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh. Do not use this as a strategy guide. And building phase. So we have 4. Let's think about who's going to be happier. My giraffes, I would need 2 spaces to put them in. And then I'd need 2 spaces to give them enough room. So that's going to be all of my tiles. That's fine. Ideally, I want an extra tile for these lemurs. Also, that would mean I wouldn't be able to put any co-species in with them. I could buy an extra tile though to put the co-species in, which would probably be better. Okay, ostriches, they're gonna need, I could keep 1 in the quarantine, I guess. So minimum, I would need 1 tile for them, 2 tiles for their space, And then they like co-species as well, so that's going to be 4 tiles. That might be a better way of doing it, but they're still going to be a bit unhappy. But I could look to expand their numbers later on. They're also going to be breeding when they're less happy. I think maybe that might be the better option, you know. Let's go for the ostriches. So we're going to get all 4 tiles for the savannah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I'm buying another one, I can't remember. Let's put this at the opposite side of the zoo. So 4 savannah tiles, get rid of you. And that means 3 of them can go on a space. All right. Let's get some tokens and then we'll figure out what else we're doing. So let's score the popularity. I score 2 popularity from my ostriches. Don't score education. 3 can fit on a tile. $1 per space that they are enclosing. Co-species. I want a co-species. I was going to go for the wildebeest or the lovebirds. The wildebeest take up 2 space. That means I'm going to have to buy another tile. Do I want to do that? Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm going to go for the wildebeest. So let's spend 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get an extra enclosure tile. You can at any point on the building phase spend 7 coins for a spare enclosure tile. That means you're able to get rid of one of these blocking spaces. I have chosen to grab the wildebeest. Do I want the wildebeest? Yeah, let's go for the wildebeest. Which means they're going to give me an extra popularity. And I score an extra popularity because I built them in the same round as the main enclosure. I'm just going to check that I've got the right thing. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. So we're actually now in the correct buzz section to allow us to get a bonus, which is great. So let's have another look about what's going on. So that costs 2 running cost. We don't have any more birds. Do we have any more birds? We don't have any birds in our zoo, so we have to start at the very bottom. They have got 2 free space. I need to spend 2 coins to give them at least 1 enclosure. And I've only got 3 ostriches in here right now. And I've only got 1 coin left, so I can't buy anything else. But I think that was pretty good. I really wish I had more money because I wanted to spend that on education. But we're just going to have to go with that, I think. There's not anything else I can do. So we're going to have to call that there. Buzz increases by 2 because that's the most popular species that was integrated into our zoo that round. And that is the end of our building phase. Whoo-wee. Okay. Winter. Animal keeping. My animals aren't very happy with me because I'm expanding too quickly. Oh no, they're increasing by 2. Okay, they're way ahead of me. Let's increase mine. Education scoring. Oh, I didn't use my meeples. Sorry, I'm using my meeples. So I'm going to use this on... Shall I do education? I may as well do education, I guess. Yeah. Education, but unfortunately I am now lagging behind in the education. And I don't think I would have bothered doing anything with animal keeping, so that's fine. Education scoring, I do not get that bonus, which is a shame. So I just take that one off, and it's even further to get to the next bonus now. Taxes, I don't get taxed. Revenue, so I am in the segment I needed to be, so I earn 23 plus the bonus of 4, so 27, minus 17 running costs, so I get, what's that, 10? 10, great. Reset buzz, reset your meeples. Next round, round 4. All right, I feel like I'm just clawing my way through. I need to get rid of my animals. I need to put them in my zoo. So event card. Oh no. So this is a little bit of a special case, so it's dealt with a little bit differently in the solo game. So we would get 3 buzz for the zoo with the most montane forest species, but in this game, in solo, it's only scored if you have at least 3 of that particular type of species. We don't have any forest species at all, so we do not get 3 buzz, unfortunately. Now we go to the breeding phase, so they're increasing by 1. Hopefully we can get some baby ostriches. Hopefully. That would be really good. So let's have a look. So they are going to be breeding. Hopefully. We're going to be rolling 1 die per pair, and we've only got 1 pair. Oh, 1 pair, 1 die. And we need a 4 or more. Yes. So, oh my god, we get 3 of them. 3 baby ostriches. That's really good though. So these don't actually, oh, we got two little girls and a boy. There we go. So they just go into the enclosure. You don't need to like have enough room for them or anything. These guys aren't nurturing, so we don't need to lie any of them down. I'm going to mark them with a marker because we have to now track our species that are breeding. So he's a level 1 species. Because we've bred our first level 1 species, we can now start ticking up this breeding track here. So now we only score that once, so that's why I put a cube on it, so I remember we've already bred our ostriches and that doesn't push me up anymore if they breed more. We are going to score the buzz for them potentially. Let's have a look to see whether our orangutans are breeding. Our lemurs still aren't happy enough to breed. So we have 2 orangutans that can breed. So 1 per female, and we need 5s. Amazing. I am going to pop that one though straight to this conservation project. And one of them's already lying down, so I'm going to stay there. So actually we're only scoring the 3 buzz instead of the 2. 1, 2, 3. But that's great. More buzz is better than not. All right, let's go to the next round. Renew the animal exchange. We're running out of room. There's a lot of availability this time. Leaving phase. So let's just look at these ostriches, thinking, because at the end of the game, if they're still in their baby phase and I don't age them up, they're going to be minus in popularity from me. So it's quite an idea to like be mindful of when they're in demand, so you can trade them to other zoos. They're not in demand, so I can't trade them away right now. What do I want to do then? I don't want to get rid of anything, I don't think. So I can't get rid of my big ostrich either. Giraffes, I want to keep. So I'm not doing anything in the leaving phase. Arrival phase. All right, so they have got... Okay, I think I'm going to have to move this around. Let me just do some adjusting. So they've actually now grabbed 3 of these of this particular conservation project. Now this is a very special one. So what this now means is they are going to take the giant panda card, the special giant panda card, and pop it on the top of their deck. So next round, they're going to be getting that giant panda in their zoo. I have 1 round to get it off of them, basically. Only 1 person can have a giant panda in their zoo because they're so elusive and rare species. And I'm nowhere near getting the giant panda. So I'm going to have to just let them get the giant panda. But that's fine. That's fine. Just checking that they haven't got anything else. They haven't. They've nearly got this one, which is annoying. But I'm not even looking at that one. So it's fine. All right. Arrival phase then. What do I want? I don't know what I want, if I'm honest. I think this is where I start to struggle a little bit because I want new species, but now I've got too many animals in my quarantine, and I'm not going to have enough tiles to build the enclosures for them because I'm still struggling to give my lemurs enough room. But I don't know. Let's have a look at my giraffes. They want at least, to be really happy, they want at least 3 giraffes in their enclosure. So I could take another giraffe. The males only like to be alone with their females. So I think I'm going to grab 1 female giraffe. Maybe. And my ostriches, let's think. I can't take any more orangutans right now. I can't take any more lemurs right now. So the only other option would be ostriches. Do I want any more ostriches? I have 6, 7, so I don't want any more ostriches either. So I'm not going to take a second trade action. We're going to ignore it. We're going to go straight to autumn. So we have 3 tiles by standard. Plus 1 from donors. So, donors, we would need at least 3 species of the savanna type in our zoo. We only have 2. So we don't get that extra. Which is really annoying. So let's see what the next donor is. Rainforest. Ooh, that's really good because we had 3 rainforest species. So we will get that extra next round. And then conservation, I do get 1 from the conservation because I have knocked that one off. Okay, loans. I can't take a loan because I can only take a loan if we have got less than 10 money. We have got 11. So let's go straight to the building phase. What are we doing? I really, really want to get these giraffes out. Because if I don't get my giraffes out, I'm not going to be able to get any buzz or anything going on in the zoo. So let's just get my giraffes out and we will worry about what happens next after that. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we've only got 4. Oh god. Oh gosh. Alright, giraffes, where do you want to go? Let's try and stick you... Oh, I don't know. Let's try and stick you up here. I don't want you too far away from the other savanna enclosure. I think we might have to do this in stages. So, my giraffes are out. Let's have a look at what we want to do with you. Ideally, I wanted some co-species in with you because I really want that lovebird in there with you. So, we've got, where are we? Here. 3 popularity. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're nearly there with our buzz to get that into the next section. So 1 giraffe can go on each tile. So let's pop the male in and you in because we need a minimum of 2. We can't integrate that 3rd one. So we're going to spend $3 on each tile that has a giraffe on it. So that's going to be a running cost now of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're on 23 running cost. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Co-species. We absolutely want this lovebird. We want this lovebird, which means I'm going to spend 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins. So I've got 7 coins to spend on a new enclosure tile, which I'm going to pop up here, which means I can remove one of these. Am I likely to? Yeah, I'm likely to increase the size of my giraffes, aren't I? Okay. And that means I can get the lovebird. So let's grab the lovebirds. My lovebirds are going to go over here, which increases my running cost by 2. They give me an extra popularity. And because I built a co-species in the same enclosure as the time I built the main enclosure, I get the extra. Oh, wow. I do not have, do I have another? Yes, I think, are they called ungulates? So I can pop it on there. I have at least 2 free space, and I need to spend 2 money to get at least 1 enclosure for my giraffes. I've already got unhappy lemurs, so I'm only going to give them, my poor giraffes, I'm only going to give them 1 shelter right now. Tough. You're going to have to stick with it. Ooh, that was okay. Now what do we want to do? We've got 2 money. We could, there's no point I think in going for education. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Unless, no, I can't do it. I literally can't do that. So we're going to ignore the education booths for now. So we're going to either look to get conservation or extra shelters. So I want to get, oh my god, my poor brain. Do I want conservation? We have not knocked off the next conservation little bit. So we're going to go for spending 2 to get a conservation bubble. Now, where do I want this conservation bubble? I can't fit this in anywhere. Can I? Because my orangutans have a focal point on every space. My lemurs have a focal point in every space. Wildebeest, not the wildebeest, the ostriches don't have conservation values, and neither do my giraffes, which I find strange. I'm not sure why the giraffes don't have a conservation value. So I can't do that. But what I will do instead then is buy a, if I can I? I think I just saw one. Did I just see one? I can't do that either then, can I? I was going to buy a focal point of the popularity, but I can't. So what I'm going to do is spend that 2 to get my giraffes an extra enclosure. Would my ostriches or my giraffes prefer that? My giraffes are going to get that. So they're at least happy. Nearly happy. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. So they may breed next time. Oh, little giraffe. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. Oh my god. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I've got no money. So, straight to winter. Animal keeping. 2. So they only increase by 1. They're on 5. How are they on 5? My ostriches are very well looked after, apart from their size. Let's increase you by 1. You're at the maximum, and now my orangutans are at the maximum as well. Education scoring. Unfortunately, I am now really lagging in the education. I'm not even anywhere near close the track that I need to be. I need to be at least like another 10 above. So I don't think I'm doing as well as yesterday. We'll see though. Taxes, I don't get taxed. Revenue, I have just, the colours aren't great on this game. I have just managed to grab myself into the next segment. So I do get that bonus. I'm on 27 revenue plus 4, so 31 revenue. 31 minus 25 is 6. I didn't use this again. Right, cheating. What would I have gone up? I think I would have gone up the conservation. There we go. I always forget that. And I wouldn't have used a second one because my running costs are way too high right now. I really need to get some buildings built, but I just can't find the money. So revenue is done. Reset my buzz. Let's just check that I'm on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, round 5. Yes. Reset my person. New year. Round 5. Fight! Yeah, I think I've got myself into a little bit of a situation. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm really struggling to get my lemurs the extra space that they need. And because it's so critical to like try and keep getting new species into your zoo all the time to get that extra like buzz and popularity, to get in turn get that extra income, it's really tough to expand on enclosures once you've built them. I found anyway. Anyway, event. Oh, so breeding hold. Oh no. Oh, that's okay. I think we're okay. It says no offspring for level 2 species this spring, but we are breeding hopefully level 1 species. All right, so their offspring phase, they're going to be rolling. They increase by 1. This is not bad. This is not good. Basically, we're only going to be scoring part of this. You want to try and get as far in the track as possible, so you want to beat them. But if you can't beat them, you need to be in the same segment. So I need to be on either the top line with them or the bottom line with them. And if I don't, then I don't score the points. And I'm on the very first space and they're on the very last space of the first segment. I just can't get my breeding up. Like my poor lemurs are just unhappy. Okay, offspring. Our ostriches. I don't want any more ostriches. I wonder if I should give them contraception. Let's have a look, see what else is breeding. Let's do the orangutans. So 1 per female. So we've got 2 breeding females still. And we need to roll 5 or more. Good. Excellent. So I'm going to pop him straight to the reintroduction. So we get 4 conservation. Amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which means we have knocked off all of these. So we're going to get all those bonuses. Fabulous. Only 1 has bred, so I'm not going to lay 1 down because 1's already let down. My lemurs are not breeding. My giraffes, I would have 1 per female. So let's see if my giraffe is breeding. I need to roll a 5 or more. 1. Okay, I'm not going to re-roll that right now. Do I want my ostriches to breed? No. I'm going to use my meeple to give my ostriches contraception. Where's my contraception? I don't want my ostriches to breed anymore. I'm going to run out of room. So you can remove that contraception tile at any point. Do I want to re-roll? No. We're struggling for money. Ignore that. So that's good. We've got a baby orangutan only. So we need to increase our buzz by 3 because we had some baby orangutans in our zoo. 1, 2, 3. That we immediately reintroduced into the wild. I need to clarify that rule with the designer though. Summer. So that doesn't make sense anymore. So renew the animal exchange. Ooh, I could get rid of one of my ostriches. Okay, leaving phase. I think I'm actually going to do that. I wonder, or would it be better to clear out my quarantine? Probably. I do really need to get a new species in. Oh, this game is very tricky. I'm really lagging behind in these as well because I've got the wildebeest, I've got the lovebirds, and I've got the ostrich and the giraffe, so I need lions. But I don't want to get the lions now because I don't have enough to integrate them into an enclosure. Maybe that's what I need to do. Actually, looking at everything else, Dang it. Don't know. I don't know what to do now. Maybe I'm thinking I could get some raccoons or the bear. At least then I'll be getting some buzz. Let's have a look at the bear. Hang on. Raccoons, they're going to need... If I get 3 raccoons, which is the minimum, so they're going to need... Oh, I could actually put them in 1 tile. If I could get... So I could get them in 2 tiles. How many tiles am I going to get this round? So I'm going to get 3, 4, 5 tiles. Oh my gosh. What do I do? So maybe the raccoons could be quite good. What do the bears need? I could grab 1 bear, and he only needs 1 space to be happy. Well, no, he needs 2 spaces to be happy, but you could cope with 1 extra space. I'm going to go for the bears. Let's go for the bears and then try and get rid of my ostrich. I need to get rid of the ostrich first. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my male ostrich that's in my quarantine, I think, because I want to try and age these guys up at some point. So I can just trade him out. He's in demand. So that counts as one of my trades, if I can find where to put him. Where does he go? In there. I forgot to grab these. So he's now got the panda. He also grabs the second one. Oh no, he's going to compete with me for the orangutan now. That's so annoying. At least I managed to get some of it, so that's fine. Sod. So I wanted to ideally do a second trade, so I need to make sure that I can. Ooh. So I can't do lions. Oh no, he's taking the bears. All right, we're going to go for the raccoons then. We're going to go for the raccoons. So I get 3 female raccoons. I don't know if this is sensible. Probably not. But we're going to go for the raccoons. So I get 3 raccoons. Let me find the raccoons. That's pandas. Raccoons. 3 females. So they're the light ones. So you have to stay in there for now. And then 3 tiles. So we're in autumn, so we get 3 tiles. We get, our donor is a rainforest donor now. So that's the same as the one we had last round for the savanna species. Because I have at least 3 rainforest species, and that can count as co-species too. So I have 1 main species, co-species, and a main species here. So I do get that extra tile as a bonus. Fabulous. And then from conservation, I have managed to tick off the bottommost counter. So I actually have 5, which is amazing. If I can find 5 on the die. Oh, replace the donut. Oh my gosh, what have we got? I bet we're going to have welfare again. No, montane forest, that's even worse. We don't have a single forest species. We will in a minute for our raccoon. But loans, we're going to take a loan. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want money, I want money. And then building phase. Okay, first things first then. Let's get this raccoon into our zoo. So he is a forest species. He is going to need... And we want to get a co-species in with him, I think, to get more buzz. Maybe, I don't know. So let's start building in the centre of the zoo. We don't need to worry about adjacency or anything like that. Okay. So let's grab some counters. So I'm going to get 1 buzz from the raccoon himself. And then I can put 3 on 1 tile. And every tile that has a raccoon has 1 running cost. Co-species. So I can, sorry, I've used 2 tiles, so I've got 3 left. What do I want? I can get a swan. a striped skunk. Let's have a look down here. What would be more beneficial? So the raccoons are here. So striped skunk would be best, just in case I manage to get the rest of these, I think. The otter could be cool because he has a lot of education. Ooh, the otter could be really cool because then he's got an awful lot of education. But that's going to cost a lot of money. I think I'm better off expanding my other existing enclosures. So I'm just going to go for the skunk. Skunk and raccoon. What a cute enclosure. So he is increasing my running costs by 2. He gets me an extra popularity. And he gets me an extra popularity because I built him at the same time. Next then, so do I have any beasties? Do I have beasties here? Beasties here? No, I don't have. He's my first little beastie. So let's pop that there. He has no spare space, poor little mite. And I need to spend 2 coins to get him at least 1 shelter. And then I have 3 of them. Okay, that's good. Now that's the only species that I'm gonna get, so I get 1 buzz for that. I'm nearly there into the, sorry I can't see again, I only need 1 more buzz to get into the bonus section again. So I need to focus on that in a second. First though, I've got 3 extra tiles. So my ostriches desperately need to be enhanced. So actually let's just do that immediately. I think they're my priority. Or are my giraffes the priority? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's build you. And then what does that mean for my ostriches? I'm gonna age up all 3 of those ostriches. Yes, 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 yes. So that means I can trade these guys out for 2 females and 1 male ostrich. 2 female, 1 male. 2 female, 1 male. So that means I don't minus 3 points at the end of the game, because if they are still there at the end of the game, I would have to minus that from my popularity. This does increase my running cost though by 1. But that's okay. So my ostriches are now a lot happier. I've got 6. So they're a lot happier. So I think I'm happy to let them just dither around now. Who else is unhappy? Oh, my orangutans, I could really do with enhancing their conservation a little bit more. Don't know. My lemurs desperately need some more space. My lemurs need some more space. So let's spend a tile to get them an extra space. So they're going to go over here. So that means they've got 2 spare space now. Yeah, they're happy. What else? My giraffes. Let's get the giraffe an extra space as well, because then I can integrate him into the enclosure. Let's put you here. What I can do then is put you here. So let's have a look where we are. So they've still got 2 spare space. They've only got 2 enclosures, but we've got 3 giraffes in this enclosure. Okay, that was our last one, I think, wasn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was our last one. I do have enough money to buy another. But at this point, I don't think I will. What I'm more concerned about now is my running costs. My running costs are astronomical. So, what I'm going to do is buy my first building. If any players are really good at this game by now, you're probably thinking, you're already around 5 and you haven't bought a building yet. No, I haven't. I'm going to buy a building. There is actually a threshold, so you can only buy what they call commercial buildings or focal buildings. I think they're locked to your popularity. Maybe the focal buildings aren't, but the commercial buildings are. So you need at least, it tells you on here, it's a bit, the colours are a bit funny, but you need at least 10 popularity in order to start building your commercial buildings. I am going to spend 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to buy my first commercial building. And I'm going to go for a savannah based food stall. So what these do is you need to put them next to at least 2 matching enclosures. So this is a savannah stall, so I'm going to pop this next to my ostriches and my giraffes, and these help to decrease the running costs. So this is going to -3 from my running costs, which is fabulous. You can then build a second one. Oh, I didn't actually see. I've been playing this slightly. Oh no, I haven't. No, ignore me. Sorry. That's the shop that you can build later in the game. You can build up to 2 food stalls, but in order to buy the second food stall, you would need a third enclosure because you'd need to place that next to a different enclosure. So many intricacies. I've got 3 money left. I could do with some... I do need some popularity, don't I? Or should I go for education? Let's go for education, actually. Yes, let's go for education. Who hasn't got education? I'm going to be scoring a lot of education. 3, 4 education if I get it into my giraffe's place. What about ostriches? 3 in there. And my lemurs, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's do that. So, education booth in with my lemurs. So they are going to score me 2 for the deer and 3 for themselves. So 5 education. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have surpassed a little bonus, so we get an extra popularity, which increases our buzz by 1 as well. And that's it. I think we're going to leave that there. We've only got 1 money. And then we're actually doing okay for room. Next time we can look to maybe spare 1 space for our raccoons to make them a little happier. I think we're going to leave that there. So let's go to winter. Animal keeping phase. Oh my gosh. What are they doing? They're like feeding their animals special golden syrup based meals sprinkled with fairy dust. They are very happy. My raccoons are going to get happier. And everyone else is quite okay as well. Education scoring. We are just dwindling in the background there. We don't get that. Taxes. We don't get tax. That's the trick. Spend all your money and then you don't have any for tax. Revenue. Okay, so we do get our bonus just. So we are in the 30 space. So we get 34. Oh dear. 34 minus 26. So that's 8. I think, yeah. And reset our buzz and our people. All right, round 6. Nearly there, nearly there. We're not doing too bad. We don't have any babies hanging around. Last night I did really well. My conservation was actually better than my popularity, but then I had so many baby animals that I couldn't get rid of, and so I ended up minusing quite a lot at the end of the game, which was unfortunate. So event card, carnivore disease. Oh no, no emission of carnivores for 1 round. That can't be drawn in round 7. Oh, that's a bit annoying actually, because I could have looked at doing the lions. Because then I could get this, because I've got the ostriches. I could get the lions. I could still bring them into my quarantine. So that could be an option. I'll think about it. Think about that. Offspring. Right, don't you dare breed. Please. Oh my god. This is just impossible. Wow. Alright, so they increased that by 2. Oh dear. Alright, my offspring. So my raccoons are breeding, even though they're not very happy. So 1 per female. Oh no, I don't even have a male. We can't breed when there's no males. My ostriches have got contraception, so they can't. My giraffes. So I have got 2 females, so I can roll 1 per female, and I need 5s. Ooh, I got a baby giraffe. Oh, that's so cute. I'm gonna take my baby giraffe. I can't trade him away. I got a little boy giraffe, and that means I can mark you, and I get a level 1 species, so I can increase that. I only need to increase it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places more. My lemurs are also going to breed. Let's try and breed you. 1 per female. 1, 2, 3, 4 die. Oh dear, this is where it's going to get out of control. Lemur populations. We need 6s though. Oh, sugar. Sorry. Oh no. I've got 2. Alright, so I actually draw 2 per lemur. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do, hang on. Let's pop you down first. So, lemurs have bred, so they're all happy, hunky-dory. My giraffes are maternal, so one of them needs to lie down. And my lemurs have bred for the first time, so I increase that by 1 as well. You are a level 1 species. Oh, you're a level 2 species, so I increase that by 2. Ooh, okay, that's good. We may catch up. I mean, we won't. We'd need an extra level 2 species, which is not going to be our priority. Anyway, and orangutans. So our orangutans, we've got 2 potential females breeding, and they need to roll 5s or more. We do. Perfect. I, therefore, am going to pop that one on here to get the very last conservation spot. Because they are blocking it, we only get half of that. But that's fine. We get 2. Amazing. And that means that they're not hanging around in the zoo. And my 1 female stays lying down. She's been busy. So I have got lemurs and giraffes, and my giraffes are more popular, so they're going to get me 3 buzz. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that was a busy breeding round. We're having lemur trouble though now. Renew the animal exchange. So please say you want lemurs. Yes, I can get rid of lemurs. I can get rid of 1 male, 2 females. Wowie. Okay. Leaving phase. Before I do anything else, I think I'm going to do that. Let's think about it though. Do I want to? I think so. I was thinking, do I want to age them up instead? But I'm not going to have enough room. I'm going to have to spend a tile to expand their enclosure. And I just don't have the resources for that. So I think they're going to have to go. But what else do I want to do? There's not even any lions anyway. There's no elephants either. Was I able to get elephants by now? 1, 2, 3. I could get elephants by now, but there's none. All right. I really want lions, because if I get lions, I'm going to get 8 conservation points at the end of the game. But they're not there, so just ignore it. I could try and start building their enclosure though with extra tiles. So ideally, I want to introduce an animal. It's going to have to be a level 1 animal because my raccoons are not very happy. That wants the smallest amount of space possible. Sorry, I know I'm still in the leaving phase, but I need to plan what I want to do in the arrival phase before I think about the leaving phase. So those bears are carnivores, so I don't particularly want the bears. What about elk? I think they need a lot of space, don't they? They're not even available. Zebra? I haven't got enough to integrate them. Lions aren't available. Capuchins. They don't need a lot of space. they'd need, maybe I'll go for the capuchins. So hang on, sorry, let me think about that. They would need two spaces to fit all of them on. The macaws will need, what would the macaws need? Oh my gosh, my brain. They need 2 macaws, so that would fit on that. They need 2 space as well. And then we're in level 2 species. All right, capuchins or macaws? I don't think there's much in them. The macaws are going to get me more education. The capuchins are going to cost me less money. The capuchins are looking better. Let's get them a capuchins. We're going to go for the capuchins in the first instance. So we're going to welcome in 2 males, 2 female capuchins. Where are they? 2 males and 2 females. They need to go into quarantine. And then, sorry, now I've decided that, let's go reverse a little bit. I'm spending my first, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm still in the leaving phase. I'm getting rid of my 1 male and 2 female lemurs. So that is 1 trade. We're now, I haven't even drawn their cards. What have they got? Sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself. They're getting the tamarins, which are these little guys. So we need to block off some of these spaces on the reintroductions. And the lions. Oh no, so they've pipped that to me anyway. So I was just too slow. They've managed to get this conservation project. So if I now score this one, I'm not going to get the top score of 8. I can only get the 4. So that's fine. Whatever. We're not doing too bad anyway, in all honesty. So now we're in our second trading phase. We're doing our second trade. I need to just double check that I was able to trade these capuchins, and I was. So that's good. They didn't block me from doing that. Completely doing it out of order. Cheating every which way. Wowee. Alright. Autumn. So we get our standard 3 donors. We are on the montane forest. We've only got 2 montane forest species, so we don't get that one. So let's rotate that. I bet it's going to be, yeah, animal welfare, and we're not going to beat them, so we can ignore that for next time. Conservation, though, we do have that, so that's perfect. I'm not sure. I think maybe I ticked off one of these too early, but I think I would have got them anyway. Replace donor, yeah. Loans. So, do I want that 1 extra coin? Probably. I'm not going to be able to... No, we're not going to take a loan. Oh, we may as well. I'm going to do it, and if I don't want it, I will reverse it. Because I can't visualise what I want my money for. Building phase. So we actually have 4, I think, from the conservation. So, building phase. We need to get these capuchins into our zoo. So let's do you in the smallest possible way. I wonder if we could increase our welfare. So what are you? You are tropical species. I think you need a minimum of 2, right? So let's pop you in here. So 3 of you can go on one enclosure. And I don't think you need any free space, do you? No. So that's 2. Oh, excuse me. 2 there. So let's... I did want a co-species. Did I want the co-species? I'm just thinking I could try and in the last round get this particular one here. That's going to score me way more money than trying to get the lions. Yeah. Let's spend 1 extra tile then to increase your size. And let's do it step by step. Let's do it step by step. So I get my popularity of my capuchins by 2. 3 of them can go on 1 tile. Running costs increase by 1 per tile. They are happy with co-species, so I'm going to go for the Jabiru. I don't think I've already got you. No. You can only have the same co-species once. So you go there. That increases my running costs by... Oh my god, I'm on running costs of 30 by 2. They give me an extra popularity plus 1 because I built it in the same round. Ooh, alright, so have I got primates? Yes, I do. They don't have any spare space right now. I need to spend 2 to get them a shelter. Well, they need a lot of shelters. Ooh, excuse me. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And there's 4 of them. So they're not very happy anyway. They're not going to be very happy, so maybe I'll ignore them. Oh, I could have got an extra raccoon. It's too late now. I should have thought about getting an extra raccoon. But I can't now. I was thinking, can I cheat that much? But no. I could then... Who else is unhappy? My capuchins aren't going to be that much happier by enhancing the size of the enclosure. My raccoons will be happier for me giving them a bigger space. So I think let's get my raccoons up a little bit and then I may be able to... There's no point now. So let's actually preempt. And I'm going to try and get this. Oh, I need the giant anteater as well. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm just going to save this tile then. There's no point in building it now. It's not going to enhance anything for me. I don't think. I don't think it is anyway. So what do I want to do? Still in the building phase. I've got quite a lot of money to spend. I don't have the ability to build any more commercial buildings, I don't believe, because I can't get my buildings adjacent to... Oh, yes, I could actually. I lie. Let's spend, what is it, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get a tropical building here, because that's adjacent to this one and this one, minus running costs by 3. And then I wonder if I should have been scoring something else, because we've got other buildings that we could get, like education booths. Oh my gosh, that would have been really good. Why didn't I do that instead? Maybe I could have done that. But still, there's no point in pushing up my education right now. I'm way behind. And education isn't counting towards final scoring. Alright, so I've got 3 money. Is there any benefit to doing anything right now? I could get some of my capuchins an extra shelter. Would they like that? What about my lemur? I could get an extra space for my lemur. I could buy him an extra shelter, but then I can't increase. I shouldn't have got rid of my lemurs. I could have then aged them up. Oh my gosh. Alright, conservation. Conservation is going to score me points at the end of the game, so am I able to buy any more conservation? Who's got conservation? Lemurs do, but there's no space to build that for them. Orangutans do have space, and that's it. So I don't want to do anything like that. Popularity pieces. I could get one of my lemurs. They don't have any space. Giraffes. Let's spend 2 to get an extra popularity. Yes, that was a good call, because then I can use you to enhance that by 1 more, which then pushes me up into the bonus for next round. My brain is melting now. Okay, winter. So they're already practically like at their maximum animal keeping score, and they're still going up. And then I increase mine. Education scoring, we are way behind. Way behind. Taxes, don't get taxed. Revenue, we are just in the bonus section, just. So we get 36 plus 4, 40. Minus 27, so we get 13, which is not bad. Reset buzz. And our meeples. New year. Oh my gosh. Last round of the game. How are we doing? How are we doing? I really want to get some more conservation now. If we could get some more conservation. How are we going to get more conservation though? I don't know. How are we going to get more conservation? I think the only way we're going to get conservation is if we're going to get a new conservation species. Or I was going to try and get the macaws. If I could get the macaws and put them in with the giant anteater, then I could get 5 conservation. And that will equal out our tracks a little bit more. I think that's the way to go. I've still got an extra tile I can use as well, so that's good. Alright, so event. So we do not have carnival diseases anymore, so that's good. Oh, it's okay. So for God's sake, bird diseases, no admission of birds for 1 round, but this cannot be drawn in round 7. So we will ignore that. Here we go. So zoos with an animal welfare score below -1 in the beginning of winter will lose all their buzz. That's not great, so we, oh no. We would not be able to, we don't want to be doing that, but we're okay, I think. Or are we? Actually, we need to be a bit careful about that. So we need to be quite mindful. Because what are we on now? We're on -1, -2. We're on -2. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, we need to be mindful of that. Yeah, our poor animals. Our poor animals aren't very happy. Well, they're all right. My poor raccoons don't have enough room, and my capuchins don't have enough room. But, you know, that's it now. My capuchins actually won't be able to get any more room. You're stuffed. You're stuck there. You're absolutely stuck. Anyway, offspring. So they're rolling. Oh my gosh. They are flying ahead. I won't be able to catch up with them. So my raccoons are still not breeding because I don't have any males, because that was stupid of me. My capuchins are going to potentially breed. Do I want to breed them? I don't think so. Why would I want to breed them now? I'm not going to breed them. I'm not going to breed them. There's no point in me breeding them. So I need to give them contraception. Shall I breed them? There's no point. Oh my gosh. So I can't score from that conservation breeding program now. I really should have got some raccoons, and then I potentially could have. So I don't want my capuchins to breed. So I'm going to give them contraception. I'm looking over there for it. It's here. I really don't want them to breed. My giraffes It's unlikely that they will breed because I've only got one die that I'm rolling, so I need a 5. Good, they're not breeding. And you are standing up. My lemurs are breeding. How many are going to be rolling before? That's a lot of lemurs. It's a lot of lemurs. Going to be rolling 4 die. I don't really want to give them contraception. I'm having a lemur problem. Oh my god, I'm actually a little bit stuck right now. We're going to chance it. Oh, that's a lot of die. I don't want to be rolling all of these. 4 die. Oh god. Yes! I needed 6s. Okay, and the orangutans. 2 of them are potentially breeding. I'd need 5s. We're just going to have to go with them. I do get 1. I get 1 orangutan. And I cannot give him to a conservation spot anymore because we've maxed that out. So he does come into our enclosure. We do get 3 buzz for that. Okay. I think we did pretty well there to save that. Renew the animal exchange. Right. Moment of truth. Good. So we could potentially get rid of our orangutan. Leaving phase. Shall I do that? I could get rid of my orangutan. I could get rid of my lemur as well. What about my giraffe? I could also get rid of my giraffe. I haven't got enough trades. Okay, my most important one. My lemurs I could potentially use because they like more lemurs. But then that's not going to help. My orangutan could potentially be used. Oh no, because he's male. I don't want a male orangutan. Alright, I'm going to use a trade. I may as well just trade something. It doesn't actually matter what. So I'm going to trade away my baby orangutan. That's 1 trade. Arrival phase. So, what are they grabbing? They are grabbing the zebra. They've already done all of that. And the northern bald ibis. So, that's a level 3. So they're blocking off 2 conservation reintroduction spots. I am looking to do a second trade, so I need to just make sure I can do what I want. This is where they've blocked the macaws, isn't it? No. So I can go for the macaws. So I am going to go for the macaws. I'm going to grab a male and female macaw. Oh dear. I'm worried about this. I could get a male raccoon. Right, let's think about. I'm going to get 3 tiles to place. My macaws, where are the macaws? They need 1 tile plus another tile, and then I want this anteater. So that's going to be 4 tiles. They need 4 tiles. So that's going to be all of the tiles that I've got already. Am I going to get one from donors? No. Am I going to get one from conservation? Yes. So I've got 1 free tile. Which means I could do what? I could pop that onto the edge of my raccoons and then spend an extra lot to get some more space for them. I ideally want to push something into the super green space. I don't need to worry about my raccoons. So the long and short of it is I don't want any more animals. I think. Let's go through them one by one. Raccoons. I could ideally go for some more, but I don't have the room for them. Ostriches. I could grab some more ostriches, but they are then going to not like the amount of space they've got. God, they're fussy. Capuchins, I don't have any more room for you. Ooh, actually. No, you're always going to be on that spot anyway, so it doesn't matter. Could I grab any? Nope, no orangutans either. Lemurs, you're going to be stuck there, that's fine. Giraffes, I'm struggling with room for the giraffes. Oh my gosh. I'm really struggling here. Okay, I'm not doing any more trades. Am I? Yeah, I am. Let's do another trade. That's going to cost me 3. Is that worth it? I think so. So I can do... Oh my god, is that worth it? What's my... Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just trying to compare, because if you actually end up with negative money at the end of the game, you lose. And I'm just trying to compare my running costs to my revenue that I'm going to get. I'm going to lose all my buzz potentially. So what am I going to get? 1, 2... We're okay. Let's do one more trade on the animal exchange. That's going to increase my running costs by 3. So that means I'm going to get rid of my... Should I get rid of my giraffe? Let's get rid of my giraffe. Oh, see, I'm still doing it again. That was in the leaving phase. I've done it backwards. It's fine. So we're now going to move on to autumn. We get 3. We do not gain 1 from donors because they are well ahead in our animal welfare. We do gain 1 from conservation. I'm not going to bother replacing the donor because we're now at the end of the game. Loans. I can't take a loan. Building phase. So, let's get these birds in our zoo. So they are tropical. So they need a minimum of what? I don't have enough room for them. Oh, I can't get them in the anteaters. Oh no, no, I can't get that thing there. I should have thought about that. I haven't got enough room. Even if I buy extra tiles. That was really silly. Oh, why do you need so much room? I could... What's my one construction action? I've never done the construction actions before. Construction. I can move an enclosure tile 1 space without detaching it from its enclosure. Would that help? Yes, it would. Oh, it says in here, I'm just going to check a rule because I've not done this before. It says 2 gold or 1 person per action. So can I just do it with money? So yeah, it can cost 2 coins or the use of a worker. I don't know which option I want to do. I'm going to do 2 coins and we'll see if that works. 2. We are going to move this skunk to go over here. Which means I can place this, this, and I need a tropical one here. So that means we've got 1 spare tile left. We can place these macaws. So let's grab some of these. So you are going to give me 2 popularity. And 2 running cost. We are so close to not being able to meet our running costs. Did I increase? I can't remember if I increased my running cost for the use of that worker. I think we did. Oh my god, this is right on the cusp. We'll see. We might just lose. Let's go for the giant anteater. Giant anteater is coming out. So he's going to increase my running costs even more. He's going to give me an extra, a couple of popularity. So we have got birds before, haven't we? Yeah. You have at least one spare space, so you are happy. I need to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 on shelters for you. So you can go there and you can go there. So you've got 2 shelters, and I've only got 2 macaws, which I don't know if that was beneficial or not. We're going to go for it though. And you are all that I'm going to be integrating into the zoo, so I get 2 buzz. Now, I'm going to lose all my buzz unless I do something, and I don't think there's anything much I can do to help it. So what options do I have? Who hasn't got enough room? The macaws don't have enough room, but there's no room beside them. The capuchins are stuck as well. The ostriches are fine. The raccoons are stuck. The giraffes are stuck. I could spend 5, 6, 7, but then I can't get them up to the green. The lemurs, I could give them another space, but then there's no point in doing that. No point in doing that. And the orangutans are fine. So there's no point in enhancing the size of any of the enclosures because you're all stuck. So I still have money. What do I want to spend my money on? Potentially nothing. Because I have so much running cost. What am I going to do? I'm going to have 36 revenue. My running costs are 34. Okay. So that's okay. I need at least 2 money then. Ooh, what could I buy? Oh no, that's going to be no good. Sorry. I should think aloud. What buildings do we have? The food shops are going to be no good. I don't think. Actually. Ooh, I could actually do that. I could buy another food shop. Would that be beneficial? I think so. The conservation centre is just a bit stuck. I can't build anything over here. So that's going to give me just 1 popularity, which isn't going to be enhancing me particularly at all. If I build a education booth here, that's going to only give me 2 education, which is only going to give me 1 popularity. So I think I may as well spend 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to grab a second tropical food stall, because this one can go here. This one is adjacent to these guys, and this one is adjacent to the lemurs. So that decreases my running cost by 3. And what's this? That's going to increase it by 3. 1, 2, 3. I could still afford to do that. Would that give me 1 point at the end of the game? Would that be worth that? I think so. So if I use this guy down here, 1, 2, 3, to increase my conservation by 1, we're going to reverse that if that means I would lose. However, I haven't marked this off because I have managed to get this. So I've got the red and green macaws, I've got the tufted capuchins, I've got the giant anteater, and I have the jabiru. So I gain that at the end of the game. Now, I've got 3 coins. I don't think I'm going to do anything else because I think I'm going to run out of money. I am worried. Revenue, I'm going to lose all my buzz, so sorry, my revenue is going to be 36, my running costs are 34. Oh, so I could actually gain, I wonder if I can score some more. Here we go. Let's try and grab, I could get an education booth in with my giraffes. That's going to give me 4 education. What about my ostriches? That's going to give me 2, 3, 4 education as well. Yes, let's do one of those. Or, has anyone else got conservation? The only conservation guys I've got are my orangutans and my lemurs, and they're full up, I think. Yes, they are. So let's just score some extra stuff then. So I'm going to go with the giraffes. So my giraffes would score their whole enclosure with their education. So we've got 1 for the lovebirds and 3 for the giraffes. So that's 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives me an extra population and buzz. Okay. Okay, we're done. We're done. Winter. So they're gonna be doing their animal keeping. Oh, they -1. I'm gonna increase all of mine. Okay. It says actually zoos with an animal welfare score below -1 in the beginning of winter will lose all their buzz. So I believe I do, because I would have -1 from that. Do I even win at the end of the game with all of this, my unhappy creatures? I can't remember. -1, -2, 0, -3, 0, 0, 0. So I'm on -3, so I lose all of my buzz. That is just detrimental. Education scoring, I don't do that. Taxes, I don't get taxed. Revenue, I'm on 36, -34, so I gain 2. I don't manage to get any bonus for that. Reset buzz and humans, do. So that would be back down, new year. So that's where we go for final scoring. I need to be careful with the final scoring now because I don't think I've ever had such a low animal welfare score, so we're gonna do it slowly. And I also might pan the, I don't know, you don't really need to see the tracks very much. I was thinking of panning the camera over so you can see the tracks a bit more, but you don't need to, you just need to know the values. So let me get it all ready for final scoring and we'll see how we did. So sorry, I'm going to be bending over down here a little bit because this is where all of my rules are. So at the end of the game, we have to -1 from our popularity for any offspring we still have in our enclosures. So I've only got the 1, which is actually not too bad. So I can -1 from my popularity. So now we score all of our conservation projects. So they don't actually score anything as such. We're just going to be trying to get as high a score as possible and beating them in some of these. So I would score an extra 5 here for this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the breeding program, we would only score now if we're in the same segment as them. So we don't gain anything for that. And now let me just read what happens with this animal welfare, because we've definitely not beat them, but I think we might have to minus stuff from our score here. So yeah, this one says for players with a score of blah, 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 blah. Players with a score below -1 lose 2 points from their lower value. So yeah, I'm going to lose 2 points from my conservation because my animals aren't very happy. I'm really sorry. Really sorry. Now each player may spend all their money, my grand total of 3, on enclosure tiles, focal points, buildings, and paid construction actions. At this point, we're not able to integrate anything else into our zoo in terms of animals. So if I had anything in my quarantine, they'll have to stay there. You're not able to age up your animals at any point. So it's just about grabbing those last conservation points. So we're maxed out on conservation points, I think, because you're still stuck. You are still stuck. We've only got 3 anyway. So the only thing that I could do potentially is build like education, but in all honesty it's a waste of time because you take your lowest value from your conservation versus your popularity, and my conservation is the lowest, so unless I can increase my conservation, which I cannot do, there's no point in doing this. So I'm just going to skip. So yeah, that is actually it. That is all we have to take into consideration. So now we just compare our conservation. Our conservation track is on 22 and our popularity ended with 32. So we have a grand total of 22. Let's have a look what that says in the book. That wasn't as good as I did last time. 22, it says solid, you can build on that. So that's not too bad. I think I managed to get the 27, I think, last night, which was a little more polished, and you'll be a real problem for us developers. So that's not too bad. I think I got backed myself into a little bit of a corner there. I wasn't breeding enough and I wasn't giving my animals enough space. So that was a bit of a shame, and it was a bit of a struggle for money towards the end, but I hope that this has given you a bit of an idea of how Zoo Tycoon the board game plays solo. This is just the solo mode out of the box, so you will see that it isn't a bot as such, but it is quite interactive in how it like contributes to the animal exchange and blocks off various spaces on here. And in all honesty, I think it may have been a really good choice from the publishers and designers, because there is so much that you need to think about with your own animals that it's quite nice to not have to think about a bot. There's nothing that I've only got to the point now where I can sort of remember what's going on, but there is quite a lot going on anyway, and so anything extra that they're trying to do is just way too much. So I think this is a really good game. I really enjoy it solo, and I am looking forward to getting it out more to get better at it. But otherwise, yeah, really good game, really good fun. And as I said, I'm not going to go through my final thoughts now because I'm hungry and tired and want to drink. And so I think I will probably release either a review video where I break this down into various segments, like all of the gameplay style and what I think of the solo mode and multiplayer mode and everything like that. Or I may just talk about this one in a lot more depth in my next blog video. I haven't decided, but we'll see how that pans out. But overall, I really like it. That's all you need to know at the moment, and hopefully you'll get an idea of whether you will like it from the playthrough. But thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed it today, and apologies for any mistakes that I made, but there's so much going on here. But have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.